Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I'm Blake, aka PoshBossBlake, and welcome to Have Lunch With Me. And today we are back with another Have Lunch With Me, a series that is bi-weekly on my channel, Mondays and Fridays, to get you started with positivity in the week and to get into the weekend with positivity with me, Blake. So, if you're new here, welcome. Think about subscribing. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. If you're returning, hello, welcome back. For those who don't know, this is a little lunchtime sesh where I answer some of your questions, talk about some things in my life, and we just like have a little cute little lunch moment. You can put me on the TV. You can put me on in the background while you're listening, while you're just living your life, whatever you want to do. I'm here virtually at your disposal whenever you open up that YouTube app. So today we're going to be talking about some viewer questions, but of course the meat and potatoes will be some celebrity interactions. Oh my god, I know. So let's jump right into it, shall we? Apologies for any kind of background noise. It's rather warm here in LA today and I can't do this without air conditioning. So, or I can't do this while having the air conditioning on. So I do have some fans going. Sorry. Working on getting a microphone set up. We'll work on it. So, what are you guys having for lunch today? I decided to get some Chinese, and I went for the healthier stuff with the Chinese. I got chicken and, what is this? Green beans with some brown rice. Yum, yum, yum. Okay. So, and then of course I have my apple. This is provided by me. And then we'll get to the fortune cookie, because who doesn't love a good fortune cookie? So let's get right into it. Let's take a big old bite. Oh, and then I also have water. I don't have my fizzy tabs today. I just want some regular water. You guys, that feels... You know when you drink water, and I just do 2 ice cubes. I don't like cold water. I like cool water. Anyone weird like that, like me? Oh my gosh. I love when you're thirsty and you take that first sip and you can like feel it going down. It's so good. Anyway, let's take a big old bite. So, background behind this. I'm waiting for a mask to come in today. Today is Thursday, filming this on Thursday. I haven't been able to go to the grocery store to get anything because here in LA you can't go into any public spaces without a facial covering. And the only facial covering I have is a silk scarf, which is suffocating, so no bueno. So I've just been making do. So I figured I'd order some lunch and, you know, I'll be good for dinner. And then I'm hoping that I get that mask today so I can go to the grocery store tomorrow, Friday, while you're watching this. This is so good. Hope you're all doing well. This is from a place here in LA called Kung Pao Bistro. It is delicious. It is on Santa Monica and basically Fairfax next to the Whole Foods. So good. Also, sorry for any background noises. I have some windows open. It's toasty. Sorry. Okay, so let's get into the first question. Let's get into the first question. Okay. Wookie. W-O-O-K-I. Wookie. They ask, where are all the places you've lived? Great question. Love this question. I have really only lived, well, actually, no, I guess it is a list. City-wise, it's not that many, but apartment-wise, it's a lot. So I'm from New York. I was born in New York City, specifically Queens. And then I was raised in upstate New York, and lived from like, what was that, 3rd grade and on there. And then I went to a college upstate as well. I can say that because that's not a giveaway of where I live. But I went to SUNY Oneonta. Love SUNY Oneonta. I love the SUNY schools, the SUNY system. I felt so supported. I had the greatest teachers. We didn't call them professors, which I found to be interesting. It was just Mr., Mrs., Ms. I don't know. I didn't have anyone like called professor, which I know is probably the case at like a bigger school or something, but my college I had an amazing experience. For anyone that hasn't had a college experience, I mean, I don't know how to explain it. Anyone who's been to college and hopefully had a great experience knows that it's something that you'll never be able to replicate. It's probably some of the best years of your life that you appreciate, but definitely look back and appreciate a lot more depending on what you did. I was a very active person. I don't think that shocks you guys. And one of the biggest things I did was not work. Well, I did work a lot, but I was in my dance. Oh my God, I'm blanking. What is it called? The school's dance company. There we go. Sorry. And the memories that I have from that, I will have for the rest of my life. And I hope there's some sort of alternatives to, like, not everyone has the same experiences, right? College being one of them. Whether you can't have access, whether it's too much money, etc. I get it. And with the way things are going, not current event based, just in general, there's a lot more trade, like, there's a lot more need for trades in the world. So I'm curious to see if people attending a university or college will kind of dip and more vocational, more trade-based careers will go up. I'm curious. I'm really curious. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. I know that's a big topic for a different day, but I think there is going to be a shift. I mean, there already is a shift. I mean, look, you know, people can do YouTube for a living. I don't do it for a living yet, but people can do that. And I live in the land of unconventional jobs. So you could be 13 and be a bajillionaire from YouTube. It's nuts. So I'm curious what path education will take, especially if it becomes more affordable, etc. So, great question. Oh wait, I didn't even answer the question. You guys, I just went on a tangent. So, okay. New York City, Queens, upstate New York, college in Oneonta. Love it. And then from there, I lived back in the city, specifically Manhattan, and then Brooklyn. And then from there, I lived here in LA. When I first moved here, I lived in Glendale, just while I was getting settled. And then I moved to Hollywood proper, near Runyon Canyon. And then I moved near Hollywood and Vine. And there is a big complex that all the YouTubers live at. I don't know if that's still the case. There's a couple of these complexes that are like outrageous rents that these YouTubers kind of like move into before they move on to get a house, from like the people and paths I've seen. Anyway, and then I am now in West Hollywood, which is great. I've also spent a summer in Chicago with my uncle when he lived there. And I mean, that's like the shortest length of time I've lived somewhere. So other than that, based on like, you know, like a full, you know, at least year, that's where I've lived. So coast to coast and kind of in the middle. Would I live in Chicago again? I don't know. That doesn't speak to me right now. If anything, what speaks to me is maybe Seattle, something on the West Coast. Seattle or Arizona, but like Palm Springs actually speaks to me. But what does not speak to me is the slower environment. It is more of like a second home kind of city, or like a retirement city, so it's a little bit slower. I don't know that I would love that, but maybe as like a vacation home, absolutely would love to invest in property there. Absolutely. Yes, great question, Wookie. Oh, I just spit. I'm so sorry. Great question. Okay. Deborah Cooper. Hey, girl. She asks, what did you do to learn, about the different brands you sell and want to sell? Phenom question. That's a really great question. What did I do? So I attribute that to growing up in big cities and just like physically having more access and seeing it in a lot more places than most. That's like honestly a huge part. And kind of like the circles or what my interests were growing up, fashion was a big part of it. So I've always kind of been aware of fashion brands, but that does not mean I know everything. Like just today, I was watching a video from Nicole State, I think. Yeah, Nicole State, and she talked about a activewear brand called Hardware or something. Yeah, but it does really well, and I'd never heard of it. So I'm like, okay, great. Now I need to keep an eye out. But for the most part, it's just, you know, being around it and immersing myself in it. But it wasn't forced. You know, I enjoyed that, and I have no problem going up to someone totally in public. Maybe not now, but I'm that person that'll be like, oh my God, I love your bag. Where did you get it? Like, I'm that person because I want to know, you know? I mean, you bought it to wear it, to advertise it. And if it's not like blatant, you know, I would like to know. So that's a great question. And then specifically to what I want to sell, I think that's like twofold because what I want to sell is not something necessarily that would absolutely sell. So I've talked about this before on the channel, but just because something is expensive or just because you like something or you have a brand that you are passionate about and maybe once was a high price tag does not mean it will resell for a high price or at all. And that happens all the time. Like a good example is Vince. I love the brand Vince. It's clean, it's simple, it's basics, higher price tag, and you can definitely buy it on a good sale, but like the resale value doesn't always stick. Depends what it is. Cashmere and leathers, of course, do fine, but for like an everyday t-shirt, brand new, sometimes it's hard to flip those, you know? I'm getting messy. Thanks, Deborah. Next question. Oh, let me have some more chicken though. Let's have some more chicken. You guys. I didn't even talk about Weight Watchers. So in general, Weight Watchers are going okay. I've kind of not been able to be as strict because I haven't had my grocery runs to go to get my like basics, my staples, etc. But for something like this, chicken, 0 points. Vegetables, 0 points. Rice, this amount is probably 4 or 5 points, which kind of is a lot, but you know. And then chicken is 0 points, vegetables 0 points, but the sauce that's on this and maybe some oil, I would probably be generous and say it's like 6 or 7 points, which probably is like high overall. That's, you know, like a 10 to, let's say this lunch is between 10 and 14 points. That is high, but the way I've been eating is different these days, so you know, my breakfasts have become very minimal. Sometimes I don't even eat breakfast just because I'm like, eh. So I heavy up on the points for lunch. So that's that. Ooh. Also, I haven't had any cooking or recipes because I haven't really had stuff to like do. I'm just like cooking eggs and turkey bacon and like chicken from a can. And frozen vegetables. But I'm trying not to get frozen vegetables. I want fresh. Now that once I get those masks, I need to go re-get like food and stock up. Like I need to make sure I have enough, absolutely, for a week, a full week, which is important. Okay, next question. Barbara Weatherman asks, favorite food and favorite color? Ooh, Barbara. Great question. I, of course, don't have a simple answer. So my favorite food, okay, that's actually easy. Pizza. A good New York style, foldable, not that I fold it, but it needs to be foldable and have slight crispiness. Pizza. Oh my God. A good cheese pie. I don't need pepperoni. Just like a plain cheese pie. Delish. Delish. I could eat that every day. Favorite color. Okay, this is where it gets complicated. So my favorite color is orange. But you're probably like, I don't see that. I don't see a lot of orange. Right. Because I recognize it doesn't go with a lot of things. So, second to that, I love blue. Okay. So, problems. Blue and orange together remind me of the gas station called 76, the Mets, and the Mets. I just like, and the Knicks, excuse me. Mets, baseball, Knicks, basketball, 76 gas station. Blue and orange. Like, I love blue and I love orange. I'm not going to wear it together because I don't want to be associated with those things. Not that it's a bad thing, but I don't want someone to look at me and be like, oh, sports. Probably wouldn't anyway, but yeah, that's why I don't like orange. And it's often like anytime you want to do orange, depending on what you're wearing, like I'm not going to wear orange with black because I am not Halloween. I am not the representative for Halloween. So I like blue. I like a lot of blues. You've seen a lot of blues on me. Blue goes with everything, including orange. But again, I don't want to be associated with those immediate identifiers, right? So then I also love red. Red is a good color. I also love olive green. Basically all the colors that I look good in. You know? But if there was one color that I had to be in public with 24/7, for it to be the favorite color, I'd probably pick blue. As long as I could have varying shades. Navy blue, like a deep navy blue. Perfect. It can be like a black. You can go, if you're feeling bigger, bloated, and you want to be slim, navy blue. But you want to be fun, bright, summer, pool, aqua, teal, you know? So, I have a lot of favorite colors. How about this? What I don't like. Actually, I mean, I love color. I love color. I haven't like worn my dress shirts or my work shirts here because maybe I should start just to spice it up. But I like a pattern. I like colors. I like variations. I like it all. As long as it's like a nice design and or simple. Like I love yellow, but I'm not gonna wear just all yellow. I need to like work in some sort of pattern, or maybe yellow is the accent color, you know? So that's that. Okay. Question portion, done. Celebrity portion, now. So, back in my days in New York, which I can't believe is like over 4 years now. That's crazy to me. I worked in advertising. TV advertising and specifically. Working with a lot of TV shows, reality TV shows, etc. I worked for a TV channel at one point as well. That you would all know. But one of the perks of working in advertising, especially when you're on the buying side, so there's two sides. I mean, there's plenty of sides, but like the majority of the basic sides of advertising and TV are the buying and the selling. If you're a salesperson, you're at the network selling your airtime. If you're buying from a network their airtime. So as a network, you're only representing your shows or your sister network shows. For example, NBC. If you work for NBC, you probably support, or you do support every single show on every single network. Maybe they're not your accounts and your accounts are by network, but like, you know, if you work for NBC, you represent Bravo and USA and, oh my gosh, I'm forgetting, NBC Primetime. Like, you know, everything gets broken out as well. So that. But one of the perks is when shows get presented to the advertising teams, specifically the buying teams, that's when they do little teasers of like, here's the show that's coming, or here's the show that's in development, so it hasn't been sold or like brought on for full episodes for, oh, this is a good one. This is a good one. Okay. So this isn't a celebrity story. It's just a story about this. When Schitt's Creek, okay, two of my favorite shows, Schitt's Creek, Younger. When Schitt's Creek was becoming a thing, it was not on TV yet, but I was working for a company that was being presented to be Pop TV's, to get, you know, our advertisers in Pop TV's show, Schitt's Creek. Great. They were also going through a rebrand from TV Guide Network or channel to Pop TV, which people at this point, now because of Schitt's Creek, they're like, yeah, it's Pop TV, which is also why One Day at a Time is a good show. But it was cool to know that this show was gonna come out, and I had interest in it then, and now it's like, I got to see it before it was on TV and after, which is nice. And then another show, similar story, was Younger. Like, everyone in the room was so excited, well, mostly the women, was so excited that Hilary Duff was coming back and she was gonna have a show, and when they were pitching it, they were like, you know, this kind of the vibe of a young Sex and the City, but like relevant, current, good topics, but like relatable. Because I think there was, for a while, there was like a lack of relatable shows for like the mid to late 20-somethings. And for me, Younger filled that void. It is so good. It is so well written. The person, Darren Star, who did Sex and the City, does Younger. So, you know, I understood that reference, but I was so excited to know that that was going to come out. Okay, great. So when we're pitched these shows, great. Often, no, most of 99% of the time, these networks have parties that are called upfronts. They're not parties. It's a business event where they showcase their entire slate for programming for the particular broadcast year. And once all the presentations are done, there's usually parties or large gatherings after, where often celebrities from the shows are there to talk about or, you know, start the presentation for the show. Like, oh my gosh, I went to the BET, oh my god, I can't remember. I went to the BET upfront, and I think Oprah was there, and she talked about the haves and have-nots before that was a thing, and I was like, Oprah is here? Stop it right now. Oh my god. So, it's incredible. It's incredible. But specifically when I got to meet some of these people, it was across several years. It was roughly 3 different years that I got to do this. I met a wide variety of celebs, and I'll try to put some pictures in here from that I have access to. And one of my most incredible memories was going to the NBC upfront, and they had, well, it was a Javits Center, and it was Jessie J who performed on stage. And these parties, especially the big networks, they put on these ridiculous big shindigs, and they usually have talent, like good talent, not only from their shows, but there's usually like a performance of some aspect, whether it's from someone from the show or, someone brought externally. So this particular year, they brought someone externally, and it was Jessie J. Collabed Bang Bang with Ariana and Nicki. Like, I'm burning up, Jessie J. So talented. But Baby Boy was at the front of that stage, and I was the only person singing along with her, and she came up to me, took my phone, did the Snapchat, and it recorded. Great. I'll see if I can find that too. But then also she talked to me and was like, hello, babes. You've been singing along with me. You're a fan, huh? And it was lovely. It was short, it was sweet, but it was interaction, and I will never forget that because it was so much fun. And she rocked this like houndstooth or it's a black and white something. Herringbone something. Look at the picture video. And it was so good. And people from my team, they got pictures from all angles, so it was so good. But it was great to interact with her. And that was one. Another one is, oh my gosh. We'll stick with NBC because they have so many. Bravo. At this party and the others, there's Kardashians, there's all the Housewives, not all the Housewives, but all the Housewife franchises, there's representation. I mean, I've seen and been like, distance to the Kardashians, and Kim is in fact this little. Khloe is tall and statuesque and like, of course, my favorite. Chris was even there, and I mean, there's so many people. There, like Juliana. There's George Stephanopoulos, the stylist. Oh no, wait. Did I say George Stephanopoulos? That might be the morning TV guy, the news guy. I can't remember. But George, Greek last name, is a stylist, and he was there. I've met Ross Matthews. We have like a little twinning moment. I'll put this up. Which he's super sweet. We follow each other on Twitter still, and we had a great interaction, and that was phenomenal. Another time at the Fox party, I got to meet Sarah Paulson, which, okay, this is a good story. So I was out to eat at my favorite restaurant, and which in New York City is the Park on 10th and like 18th, between 18th and 19th, 17th, 18th, something like that. And I had my 21st birthday party there. Like it's incredible. I love that spot. It's like indoor, outdoor. It's great. So I'm eating with my friends, and I see this woman walk by, and I'm like, she's cute. So I see her sit down in another section of the restaurant, but she sits and faces me, and I'm like, oh, you guys. And that's when American Horror Story was on the rise and just starting. So people were like all about Sarah Paulson. So I was like, oh my God, like, do we say anything? But I noticed she was with two other people, and it was like intimate. This restaurant's like nice and big, but also intimate, which I really enjoy about the atmosphere. And I was like, you know what? You know, we're gonna let her be. I'm not that person that's gonna go interrupt someone's meal. You know, they're clearly celebrating or doing something. Well, that good karma circled back around, because like 2 weeks later we had this party, and I got to meet her, and I'll put that picture up here. Ignore the smiley face for someone I don't speak with, just grew apart. She and I chatted, and I said, I don't want to be a creeper, but I have to tell you, I was at the park 2 weeks ago, and I saw you, and I wanted to come up and say hi, but it looked like you guys were, you know, it was like an intimate dinner, and I was like, I'm not that person. But I'm so glad that I got to meet you now. And she said, you know what, thank you so much, I really appreciate that. But, I mean, she's gorgeous. She's stunning, pleasant interactions, and she's like, that's not creepy at all, I appreciate that. Like, I wish more people would do that. So, I was blessed in that way. And then what's another good one? That was a good interaction. I'm trying to think of like a good story behind it. I mean, the Housewives, there's a bunch of them that I got to meet. I got to meet Vicky, we whooped together. I got to meet Yolanda, I got to meet Nene, Bethany. I got to meet Nigel Barker, any ANTM fans. I got to meet Angela, oh my gosh, what's her last name? Oh my God, Angela, oh my gosh, wait, I'm gonna Google her because she's like more in like the sci-fi realm. Which is what she was there to. Angela, Sci-Fi Network. Oh my gosh, what is her name? She was in, oh my gosh, what is her name? Because I can't remember. She was in Serenity Cast, and which I love that show. What is her name? Oh my God. Oh no, Gina Torres. Got to meet her, picture. Oh my gosh, it was so good. It was always just a good time. And if for any home DIY people, HGTV party, another Scripps Networks, another huge party, lots of mingling. That was a really good one. Got to meet Vanilla Ice, got to meet the Property Brothers. I have a fun picture with them. I got to meet Love It or List It. Oh my God, all you Canadian poshers, hey. Oh my gosh, you guys. Those were such good perks to that specific job. Oh, and, well, I don't want to give too much tea, but I'll just say this. At the Scripps party, there's always some sort of swag that you kind of get. Nothing crazy, but Scripps is really good. You would get a gift card, and the gift card would bring you to a website, and you have a code. And the website is usually set up for like 1 to 3 or 5 things that they had sponsored, etc. I mean, they're so connected to the home space. They always had good stuff. I got a Breville toaster oven, you guys. Brand new. Just typed in the code, sent to my apartment, had it. The best thing, the best purchase I've ever had. And I had to leave it, sadly, when I moved from New York. But that was such a good perk. Oh my god, you guys. It was so good. And I am excited about that. I mean, that's what I live for. You know, interacting and, you know, I want to be on that carpet, like, as a celebrity. Or Gina Torres, hi, how excited are you to be here to talk about your new show? Oh my gosh, that's so great. Well, I just have to tell you, I loved you in Serenity. I think that was phenomenal, including the movie. Do you think there might be like another reboot or, you know, something coming to Netflix in the future, since reboots are a thing these days? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to hear that. I can't wait to see what happens in the future. You know, like, could you see that? Listen, trying to make it happen. You guys, so good. I mean, there's so many. There's so many. There's so many. Also, I'm trying to be mindful of how many I talk about, because including the pictures, I'm gonna have to find them, screenshot them, put them into my computer and edit. So that's like a lot. But oh my gosh, that's so good. That's so much fun. And that's not even like, oh my gosh, you remember lip gloss? Your lip gloss poppin'? Met Lil Mama. Sure did. Met Brandy. I'm trying to think. Oh my gosh. And I mean, of course, there's like some, you know, like Cuba Gooding Jr. was there. Bruce Willis was there. Or not Bruce Willis. Cuba Gooding and John Travolta, because they were doing American Crime Story on FX, I think. Fox, FX, yes. And those are Taraji P. Henson. They're like heavy. I mean, it's literally people who are on TV shows. So, oh gosh, it's so good. Fox, okay, so the Fox party was really cool. That one was in Central Park, which that got a little hot. It was in like this massive tent. They air conditioned it, of course, but I mean, I am not a big drinker, but those days, had a couple cocktails. I mean, it was free. I'm never a party person. Like, I never go seeking to get drunk like some people do. No judgment. I just don't find enjoyment in that. Also, someone, Teresa, Cha-Cha Hates, asked this in the past. What's the biggest differences between New York and LA? Here's another one. Happy hour culture. It's not the same because you physically have to drive here in LA. So one, illegal if you're tipsy. We don't want that. And although you can Uber and do things places, it's not like, let me leave work and, you know, walk right down the street or something. You have to like get in your car, go home, change, take the Uber, and like it becomes a lot. Whereas in New York, like my old office on 53rd and 7th, right by the Sheraton, which is where Barack Obama stays. Or yeah, that's where he stayed when he was in town. I forgot what I was saying. 53rd and 7th. Oh my god, I lost my train of thought. I'm so excited. 53rd and 7th. I forgot what I was talking about. Oh my gosh, you guys, help me. Happy hour. There was a place, I think a place called Stagecoach. I'm sure it's still there. Like an Irish pub bar, but it's where everyone would go for happy hour. I mean, for anyone who's traveled to like big cities, like big major cities like London, Paris, etc., especially London, you know, like 5:30, 6 p.m. hits, people are at the pubs. People are at the pubs on the outside with their glasses, with their glass glasses, in the lines, you know, outside, smoking, doing whatever. Happy culture. Yeah, people do get happy. Happy hour culture in a major city where you don't have to drive is definitely like more doable. It's more spontaneous. Whereas when you have to drive or like be taken someplace, it's a little bit more challenging. Which I think why dining culture is big in New York, of course, but I think LA has a bigger dine out culture, or like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't know. If you've lived in the big cities, you kind of understand that reference. Yeah, I mean, like, listen, if you live in like Alabama, I don't know, I can't speak to the culture there, but I imagine you have to drive places. Is there a subway there? I don't think so. I could be wrong. Could be wrong. But anyway, how did I get on this? Okay, so this is about to be 36 minutes, probably like 37, 38. We'll go 40 minutes and then we'll call it a day. I'm trying to think, who else? What's up? What? New York. Gosh, that was a good, we just lived memory lane. We just lived it. We just went down it. What else? Trying to think of any. The Property Brothers. The Property Brothers are goofy. They're very tall. You'll see in the picture. Or you saw in the picture. They're tall. They're no joke. And one of them lives kind of near me, a couple miles away. I have not personally had like any relationships with a celebrity or a celebrity adjacent person. I'm not like seeking out that. Although like I kind of have an interest in Sam Smith, and I'm trying to think. I mean, I could just have him sing to me all day. I'd sing right back. We could just be a singing couple. Hello. That was Adele, but oh, won't you stay with me, please? You know, like, oh my gosh, I would love to. I would love to just meet him and see like if we jived, or meet them. Excuse me. I don't know. I mean, you can manifest those things. Those things can absolutely happen. There's been a like handful of times, like I was in Central Park once and I was like, who are these people? And there's paparazzi around them. They're just walking their stroller. Turns out it was Jessica Alba and Cash when they had just had their baby. Cash Warren. So that was cool. It was a scene. The Paps were out. What else? So if you're like looking for something to binge watch, one of my favorite shows that I wish I could be on, won't happen, but wish I could be on. It's on Hulu here in America, but it's on ITV2 if you're in the UK. Look, I know, like as if I'm from the UK. It's called TOWIE, which stands for TOWIE, which stands for The Only Way is Essex. Babes, let me tell you something. I just spent the summer in Marbella. Marbella, Spain. Have you been? Basically, I broke up with my boyfriend. I went to Marbella. It was like a whole big argument. I love it. I love TOWIE. It is like the hills and the city meets, oh my gosh, I don't know. It's like a world of its own because it's these kids that like have now grown up on the show. Not kids, but like young adults that have now built brands, and like also the media is like way different over there. The what are those things called? Tabloids and things. They're much more footballer focused. Soccer people. But oh my god, I love it. And it's like a lot on their wives, like footballers' wives, which TBT to an amazing show on the BBC. Okay, Tanya, help, my husband. So good. But we're about to hit 40 minutes, so thank you guys so much for watching today. I'm gonna finish up my lunch and get this edited and listed so you can watch us on Friday. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, and let me know what you want to know down below for Monday's video. Bye.